We will be back and take a look at the Rodney Dangerfield of Michigan football over the past 3 years, so stay with us. Quarterback is the key position on offense. At Michigan in the Schembechler years, there have been some great ones. From Moorhead, Franklin, Leach, and Wangler, the quarterbacks have led the offensive parade. For the past 3 years, Steve Smith has been the man, but unlike the others, number 16 has had to weather a stormy career. He's heard boos from the Michigan faithful and questions from the media, despite numerous career records. It hasn't been easy for the kid from Grand Blanc.
I've taken some heat, but I think people forget when Rick Leach was here, he was getting booed. He got booed a few times at home. And I've taken heat just because of the idea that, we're more pass-oriented these days, too. And when you're not throwing the ball well, it's directed more towards the quarterback. And, back in some of those other guys' days, they didn't have to throw the ball. And, if you can go out and run the ball well, you don't take the heat.
Did it ever bother you at a time where there was a period where you said, Jesus, why am I going through all this?
I think last year, it bothered me a little bit. I never let it affect me as far as going into a game and playing. But I think it bothered me off the field a little bit, thinking that I was getting booed. And, sometimes I wondered, what was I doing out here?
What do I have to do to get these people to appreciate me?
Yeah, it was even sometimes we'd win a ball game. You can accept it at times when you're playing bad and you lose, and you say, well, the people got tickets, they've got a right to say what they want. But when you're winning a ball game by a couple touchdowns and you make a bad pass or something, I don't think that's lethal cause to boo. And, I caught that sometimes last year.
Through all the seeming problems that you've had at quarterback and the trouble that you've taken from the outside, Bo's really hung tough with you, and that's probably been the biggest help.
Bo will get on me in practice or in the meetings or whatever for my mistakes, but he's the only one that does it. The media, he defends me with the media, he defends me with the fans, and, he doesn't think it's right. And, he's been so supportive of me ever since I've been here that, that's really encouraging. And it tends to make you forget about what's actually happening, away from football.
Quarterbacks view the game much differently than fans. They're like the chess master. What's important to him isn't necessarily what's important to the spectator.
People start saying things like, the game's boring, all we do is run the ball. And to me, I see it from a tactical standpoint where we're beating the team up on the ground and we keep running the ball. The last thing we want to do is throw the ball up in the air and get it intercepted. You lose a game. You lose a game on something like that. And, I see everything so tactically. It's because that's how I'm coached. We strive for the win. We don't really strive for, we like to give the fans a good show, but, if you're beating somebody up on the ground or you're running the ball really well, sometimes there's no reason to put the ball up in the air. And that's what the people want to see. Like I said, football's become a pass-oriented game, and people want to see the ball thrown in the air. And, just at Michigan, because of our line, because of our backs, we don't really have to do that. At times we do, but overall we don't.
When it's all over, Steve, what would you like historically people to remember about you as quarterback at Michigan?
Just as a winner, basically, I think. I want to get a degree. That's my biggest goal right now, is just to, stay in school and get my degree. Because, going into my last year, you start realizing, what am I going to do when I get out of school? And it becomes a lot more important and more relevant to you.
Those of us who've been around the Michigan program understand that head coach Bo Schembechler has special relationships with quarterbacks, and Steve really hasn't gotten the respect maybe some of the others should have, or has.
Well, I can go back where they had criticism of every great one we've had, and it's usually by people who are not knowledgeable in the game of football, so what makes the difference? You really don't have to listen to them. I think this game against Ohio State was particularly gratifying to Steve. He wanted to beat them badly. He was emotionally up for the game. In my opinion, he was the difference in the ball game. He played a great game. If you think that he is not a quarterback to be reckoned with, then you talk to the defensive coordinators that have to defense him, because I'll guarantee you with that speed and ability to run, and when his arm is healthy, there's no better one around.